HMTHU. Free. I go back to the table and pretend like everything is okay, but Alicia being Alicia senses that something is off. Spill, she says when I take a sip from my glass of juice. I breathe out deeply, not sure I am ready to dive into whatever that was in the bathroom. Does it have pious written all over it? I look at her. I am no magician. I saw him walk out of the bathroom the minute you did. I shake my head and drink from my glass again. You know we haven't talked about him from the day I found you guys skin to skin in the kitchen almost 3 years ago. That's because there is nothing to talk about, I say, wanting her to drop the topic. Phallistus, I know how much you hate talking about this, but don't you think someday we will need to have a heart-to-heart? And talk about what exactly? Alicia, you and I both know that Liam is an amazing man. There is no way I am hurting him or making him go through what I did 3 years ago. It's not fair. I pause, breathing hard and deep. Pius and I went our separate ways. There is nothing to talk about. She eyes me with pity. What? Sometimes I admire you, you know. Enlighten me, I say with shock. I don't know what it is about me that she admires. Phallistus, you have had the worst in this lifetime happen to you, but yet somehow you get to find yourself with the type of love and men this generation cannot offer. I laugh. That's funny. I mean it. Look at Pius. I know you hate to admit it, but that man is your soulmate and he will forever be stuck somewhere in your heart, and then you have an amazing husband, one that we can only dream of. Come on, Liam has his faults like any other man. She makes a face. He leaves his dirty laundry on the floor and I have to pick after him. He scatters things in his closet. When he cooks, he makes a mess. Those are trivial things. Girl, your man doesn't come home late. You have access to all his devices and accounts. He literally worships the ground you walk on. I don't know any woman that wouldn't want to be in your shoes. You don't. Only because you are my best friend. I laugh. Let us go back for work. This discussion is draining and not making me feel any better. I say, standing up. I know the bill is on her, so there is no need for me to wait behind. Luckily the waiter comes right on time. She settles it and we leave at the same time. I walk her to her car and thank her for lunch, then wait for her to drive off before going to mine. When I get to the office, I find Kimono with a client and 3 in line. I attend to 2, and by the time I am done and we have signed contracts, it's already time for me to knock off. I would have loved to stay back and respond to some emails, but Liam promised dinner, so there is no way I will keep him waiting. He has already knocked off, and in the kitchen when I get home, he is so deep in whatever he is doing, I stand by the door and just stare at him, thanking God to have him in my life. How long have you been standing there? He asks when he turns around. Long enough to want to strip you naked. You are one sexy woman, Mrs. Hutchison, he says, kissing my lips. He tastes like sweet wine. I linger on his lips a little longer. You know, if you go on like this, I won't finish cooking yet. That isn't such a bad idea, is it? I ask, wrapping my hands around his neck. I promised you dinner, and even though this is tempting, I would rather fulfill my promise. I laugh. He is trying so hard to stay away because I can see from the mark on his sweatpants that he wants me as much as I want him. You are bad for me. Am I? I ask, laughing. Go and freshen up. Dinner will be ready by the time you are done. Sure, I respond. I go the bedroom. After kissing him one more time, I put my handbag in its rightful place in the closet. When I go into the bathroom and turn on the water faucet, the hot water massages my skin. It's like that's the only thing I needed the whole day. After putting shower gel on my skin, I start to scrub and my mind takes me to the bathroom at Delila when I bumped into Pius. He still looks as good as he did the first time I met him. I smile at the memory and shake it off. Once in a while, when I am alone with nothing but my thoughts, I allow myself to think of the past, but never for too long, because that's a place I left behind and I am not going back to it. I finish off and settle into a night dress with a robe, then go to the dining room where Liam has set dinner. It smells divine, I say, going to pick a glass of wine. And you look amazing. I am not sure I want to eat anymore. Now I am the one who wants to eat, babe, I say, chuckling. Tonight, you are mine, he says, biting his lower lip, and I just shake my head. We settle on the table, he says grace and dishes out before we dig in. How was your day? I begin. It was okay, tried to work and found myself dozing, so I just ended up at the gym and came back home. Oh, okay, you should have told me. I would have knocked off earlier. You know I don't like getting into your work. I know, babe. And how was your day? Busy, but I had lunch with Alicia, so it wasn't bad. Really now, how is she? She is fine. His phone starts to ring and he ignores it at first but then hands it to me when it starts to ring again. What's up? I ask. I am not sure why Melissa is calling my line. Hello, I say, picking up. It's you. What do you want, Melissa? She cuts the line. What's up? She just cut the line, I say, putting the phone down. I make a mental note to finally face her because my instincts are telling me that this phone call is not innocent. Winnie quenches girl woman, bowing, medium dark skin tone.